everyone. Welcome to the Game 3 recap video here on Frozen Oil. Welcome, Wayner. And, yeah, man.
The Game 3 disaster recap video?
What a disaster. What a disaster.
Yeah.
Great way to put it. Disaster.
Yeah, it's all good. No one's going to remember Game 3 after we win the cup. It's all good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I hope so, because we are now in a must-win situation. And Game 4 is coming at you Thursday, so we got a couple days here to talk about this. And Wayner, just your initial thoughts on the game and kind of how it went.
Initial thoughts are we got our asses handed quick, but Guy fallen, no. If you were to ask me, should we one thing go wrong and we lose a close game, or would I take having a bunch of things go wrong and lose one game? I would choose the latter. So I think it happened the way it should have happened. It gives us a chance to recalibrate, reset, which this team and this coaching staff has been known to do. And so I'm actually going to look at it positive.
We can blame a lot of things, but I mean, you just got to wash that one down, like you said, and just move on to the next one. But for me, the fear is now that they're, in this position. I mean, you can't go down to go down 3-1 to Florida.
No.
So next game is a must-win, like you said, and it's just. I mean, I thought they learned from last year. I expected a different start, and the thing for me is they keep letting the Panthers hang around. And, you got to come out so strong for Game 3. You know they're going to come out strong. You know they're on home ice. And they're going to be, they definitely don't want to go down 2-1. And the Oilers steal a road game right away. They came out hard and strong, and the Oilers were just flat. And that's what scares me is, the Oilers talking all this talk that they learned and all this stuff, and then it gets to the moment, and it's just like, where is everybody?
But
I mean, you can't blame, one or two Oilers on yesterday. The whole team, that didn't look like the same team that we've been watching.
No, of course not, and you got to give Florida credit too. They're trying to win the cup as well. It's there's another team on the ice, right? But I'll disagree with you on the point where you say, did we learn? I think we did learn. I think that's why we've had we're 13 and what's our record over the last 16, 17 games? Like, that is learning. But to expect a team to go out and play a solid game every single game, night in, night out, it's just not possible. They're humans. They're not robots. So I'm like, if I were to ask you, if you had the choice between one thing going wrong for 4 games in a row or a bunch of things going wrong in one game, I think we'd all pick the second, because it still counts as one loss. Whereas if we did one big major part of the Oilers game went wrong for each of 4 games, that might be enough to sink us in each one of those games, right? So to me, I'm looking at it like, pile it all on. It doesn't matter whether we lose 2-1, 6-1, 9-1. It don't matter. Let's flush it all into one game, including Skinner having a bad game. Like, Skinner's been playing awesome. Last night wasn't his best. Okay, great. No problem. You had a bad game, Skinner. You're typically known to have bounce-back games, especially Game 4s, which next game is. And, how many times is Draisaitl and McDavid going to be left off the score sheet? How many times is Bobrovsky and our going to steal them some sure, stop some sure goals? How many times are our depth not going to show up? Like, it's just all happened in one game, and we suffered a loss. But the good news is it's one loss. It's not a continuous thing. Flush it, 2 days off, reset, recalibrate. It's like it never happened. Game 4, we come out, we get that game, and it's all forgotten. I guess all we can do is have the faith, right? It's either that or we're going to sulk and lick our wounds for the next 2 days and
Yeah, I
think
don't
that
know,
the
man.
sky is falling, right?
I don't know.
I'm not doing it.
I predicted a sweep. I predicted the Oilers to absolutely dominate them.
Well,
They're letting them hang around. I'm sick and tired of the Oilers just shooting themselves in the foot. Taking dumb. That's the third game in a row where the first period they're taking a lot of penalties. They're, giving Florida opportunities they don't need to. You got to play perfect hockey against the Panthers, and they're not doing that anywhere near that.
so having said that, if you think we got to play perfect
I also
hockey
mentioned
against them,
the second period in Game 2, Wayne,
Yeah.
was a complete domination.
it's okay. So then let me ask you.
Well, it's okay,
Yes.
but it's going to get to a point, Wayne, where you're going to run out of runway. You're going to run out of time.
Well, we're not there yet. But
But the next game is that. So
We're
if
not
Connor
going
McDavid
to-
and Leon Draisaitl do not have a serious conversation with this hockey team, they're the leaders of this team. They are the driving force of this team.
Yeah,
They have to win the next game.
correct.
Plain and simple. As far as this fan base goes, I've been part of this fan base forever. And I am telling you that this fan base is not in a mood to battle back from a 3-1 deficit against the Florida Panthers. We've had enough stress in our lives with this team, and enough's enough. So you want to bring it. You said you're going to bring it Game 3. You didn't. You're flat. You're horrible game. Blame whoever you want. But they got pushed around, Wayne. They got pushed around. I'm telling you, this game that you're predicting to occur next game, if it happens, that's us. Right? We are a offensive juggernaut. We are a high flying run and gun offensive team. Now, the Florida Panthers are dumping the puck in, sending not 2, sometimes 3 forwards behind the net to retrieve pucks. And the Oilers are losing those battles. And it's because of those battles that they can't get the puck out, and then the Florida Panthers cycle begins. And they're stopping pucks from exiting the zone by their 2-point men. And it's just this vicious cycle that keeps happening over and over again. It's been since the second period of Game 2, where the Panthers are hemming them in the zone, and they look lost. They look lost. I don't think Florida's defensive core is better than Vegas's. And I don't think Florida's team structure defensively at playing the trap is better than LA. It's not. But when you look at LA and you look at the Vegas series, when they're dumping the puck in, you have guys flying back there, no fear, getting those pucks, turning it around, and boom, out the zone. And that's how we beat them. And we beat them handily. That's not happening now. You have Darnell Nurse taking 55 head checks before he even starts to skate to go to the puck. You know what I'm saying? Brett Kulak's had 3 bad games in a row. 3. Not 1, not 2, 3.
Yeah. Well, on a
Kulak
side
Nurse
note-
don't work. I mean, we'll get to all this in a second.
Yeah.
It's tough to be positive today, but we did do a live stream. I don't know if any of you had a chance to check it out. It was we gave away some prizes, so shout out to the local businesses that donated to give out those prizes. Burger Bear 99th Street, Eddie's Donaire, Shadified, and O2s. Thank you all very much for your generous donations. We gave out what we could, and we have some more left over to give out on our next live stream. So thanks to all those that did check it out. Yeah, you got to. Well, we want to do one on Saturday, right? Like right after. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to look forward anymore. The Oilers got to start banking wins and moving closer to the 4 wins that they need in total in this series to win the Stanley Cup.
Hey,
And
don't
that's
hang
where I'm
around
going to
any
leave it at.
ledges over the next 2 days.
No, I mean, it's too much, man. Like, you're talking about a fan base that's come off 2 consecutive not consecutive, but the last 2 times they've made it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
We've lost in Game 7.
Yes.
It's heartbreaking. It's very hard on a fan base. And it took us 18 years from 06 to 24 to get back to the finals, including 10 years of not making the playoffs at all. You can't ask this fan base to chill and calm down. It's not happening.
So every time they have a
It's
bad
not
game,
happening, buddy. It's not happening. If it was a gamer game and the Oilers are playing their game, it's a different story. They got manhandled.
in one game. That's it. They didn't get manhandled in the series. They got manhandled in one game. That's why we play a best of 7. Chill. We'll see.
All right, we'll chill. Anyways, we are at 955 subscribers and counting. We're almost to our 1,000 subscriber goal. So thanks to everybody that's done it. If you haven't, please hit that like and subscribe button because we are. What's that?
Cheer Rich up and subscribe.
Yeah, cheer me up and subscribe. I don't know. We could probably hit 2,000 subscribers right now. I'm not gonna be cheered up because to come this far and have a game like that, it's hard to be positive. It's hard to be positive. I hope, Wayne. I hope that it was the referees and they kind of killed the momentum and whatever. I hope that, but I didn't see that last night. I didn't see that. Final score 6-1 Florida Panthers. And I just wanted to show that surprisingly, Wayne, we still outshot them 33-31.
Yeah.
We won in the face-off dot for the first time in the series, 51-48.
Good news.
Well, I mean, they had 11 effing power plays, so I mean, I don't know how. That's 22 minutes of power play time. That's more than a period.
Yeah, but come on, the third period was kind of.
Hits. We out-hit them, 34-26.
Another positive.
Right, and I just wanted to mention that there was. I mean, to be ahead in those departments and lose this game the way you did, it's frustrating. There's a lot to cover on Twitter X, so we're gonna go over there and do that now. You can follow us. This is so depressing. This episode is so. It's hard to do. It's hard for me, Wayne, and I know you're the same. To come on here and try to be optimistic and try to be upbeat and try to be that game knocked me out. It knocked me out, man. Like, you can't function after this, man. It's too much pressure and stress. But anyways, we are on Twitter X, Instagram. We are on Twitter X, Instagram, and TikTok. So check us out. Our handles at Frozen Oil Hockey.
Cool.
I gotta calm down, man. I gotta calm down because
we'll talk about it off there.
We'll talk about it later. Let's check out some of these tweets here. And first one here, Wayner.
Yeah. Who's it from? Where are we at?
We are reading out Tyson Monroe at Ty S35.
Hey Tyson.
The Panthers penalty kill versus the Oilers arguably won them the cup last year, and it very well could be the difference this year. And before you react to that comment, Wayne, in our playoff preview video for this matchup, I mentioned multiple times the Edmonton Oilers power play has to get going. It has to get going. And I mean, they still had 6 or 7 power play opportunities. They can't score. That has to change. But give your thoughts on Tyson's post there.
Well, he was right. Over still got time to correct that. But the advantage is you got a couple days back, right? So yes, on one hand, you want to get right back to it, play the game, flush it, blah 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 blah. But on the other hand, you got more time to prep and to fix all the things to fix, as you put it. So let's take advantage of it. Sounds like they made good use of their first day off today, which wasn't actually a day off. It was a full practice.
Let's move on to the next one from, I don't know if you remember old Gabriel Morency at Sports Rage. He used to be on The Score.
Yeah.
And he has to say, Oilers can't win by trying to out-tough them. Just play hockey. They became unglued last night. And I agree with him. Like, you're going to play that game against the Florida Panthers, you might as well just forfeit the rest of the series.
Like playing Florida Panther hockey. We don't want to play Florida Panther hockey.
Exactly.
Play Edmonton Oiler hockey. It's whoever gets to their game first and can sustain it for longer during the game. That's really the key.
Great point. Great point. All right, Wayner, next one from Den Polland. We all know under Chris Knobloch, the Oilers have had great success in games 4-7. It's time for Knobs to make his in-series adjustments and the Oilers to get back to playing their game. What adjustments do you think Knobs makes? Wayner, according to Den, the Oilers need some adjustments. What do you think they should do?
Well, according to you, there's a lot they need to do. So let's start with everything. But in all seriousness, personally, is what I would do. I would split up McDavid and Draisaitl. I'd have them on their own lines. Go back to that. Centering their own lines, using them obviously together on the power play, and any chance they can get, with long, like TV timeouts or, sporadically from then on. But predominantly, they're on their own lines. I think that we should have Ekholm and Bouchard back together. I'd have Skinner start the game. Why? Because he has a history of bouncing back after tough losses. And also specifically because of his record in sport, for whatever reason, entertaining. But he'd be on an extremely short leash. If I didn't like the first 2 goals, God forbid, if he even allows a goal, picks, you're in. Be ready. That's how I would do it. As far as the rest of the scoring, we need depth. We need the depth to step up and help out. And obviously, everyone's got to get the message. They're not to take a dumb penalty. Take a dumb penalty, you're sick. You're sick.
I'm so mad you just said that. I'm so mad that your reasoning for starting Skinner is because he has a good record in Game 4s. The most inconsistent goalie in Edmonton Oilers history. And you're banking on a consistency stat? Come on, man.
So, as far as how he's played over the last 2 weeks, not give him a chance to redeem himself?
Well, say, you want Stuart Skinner to play because you felt, not all the goals were his fault, and that's good enough reasoning for me.
Any reason.
But to base anything for Stuart Skinner on consistency, you might as well throw that out the door because that doesn't happen with him.
Well, does he have a good record in Game 4s? Yes or no? Has he been playing well for the last 2 weeks? Yes or no?
He does, but it doesn't matter this Game 4.
My way, you start Skinner. If he plays bad, quickly to Pickard, and then you don't go back to Skinner if Pickard stays well. If he doesn't, then we're all done for. But you pull him now, and you show panic, and God forbid Pickard has a bad game or a bad start, and you try to go back to Skinner. I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, throw him in. If the same thing happens as last night, then we're gonna put Pickard in a situation where he has no chance but to pull off a win. Isn't that way too much pressure for Pickard?
Well, yeah, but you're making you're insinuating that last Game 3 was entirely Skinner's fault. If it was clear as day, I would have a different tune. But
I'm not insinuating that. I'm just saying you cannot go with consistency as your guiding light to starting Stuart Skinner in Game 4. That's all I'm saying.
But you have to make a decision. What do you go with? You start Pickard?
Well, yeah, me personally, I would have put Pickard from when he was healthy again right back into the net. He's 6-0, man. That's what I would do, but who am I?
Hey, it could be right? But you're asking.
So, it's funny because we're gonna look at a couple of clips here. Let's just move on. The adjustments I would make, I'll tell just quickly, just to finish off that one, Wayner. The adjustments I would make: number 1, I'm taking out Brett Kulak. He's had a week 3 games. He was the worst in game 1 for me. Game 2, he was weak as well. And last game, he's out. I put Stetcher in so he can be paired with Nurse on the third pairing. Combe, Bouchard, Wallman, Klingberg, Nurse, Stetcher. That's the defense.
Okay.
The next adjustment I'm making is I'm taking Trent Frederick out, and I'm putting in the high-flying, gun-slinging Jeff Skinner in for Frederick. I'm serious, man.
All right.
I'm putting Jeff Skinner in for Trent Frederick. And I'm playing Pickard over Skinner. That's what I'm doing. Those are my 3 adjustments I would make.
You keep David and Draisaitl together?
I really don't care whatever. No, I'm an advocate of Draisaitl centering the second line for the last eight years. So, I mean, no, I don't want that. But I mean, Knobloch does a lot of weird stuff, Wayne. Like,
yeah, and it usually works,
right? I mean, let's admit it. Like, he does stuff sometimes that works out, and you say, wow, like, you know, he's got some big kahunas to do that. But there's other times he does stuff like switching around defensive pairings, and you say, what's this guy doing, man? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. So, next,
but he's right.
Of course. And his soothing voice, it's tough to argue with him. Next one is from Mark S. at Florida Flyer 86. Man, when the Oilers are losing, they turn into the biggest crybabies I've ever seen. People call the Panthers dirty. Watch Edmonton. Wayner, do you think the Oilers are the biggest crybabies?
I think they're frustrated. All the rat in Florida and they lost their cool in a game where it didn't matter no more, and they're investing into the rest of the series as not blocked for post. So I have no problem with that. Only when the game gets out of hand, you want to get a guy back. Now it's time to do it. But you do that in a close game or you cost your team, of course not.
All right, next one from Dave at Oilers_fan30. I think Calvin Pickard needs to enter the net. I'm not sure Stuart Skinner can handle these big games. Wayne, you obviously think he can handle this big game. And I just wanted to show that and switch on over to YouTube here and show a clip of the Great One's thoughts on yesterday's goaltending. Are you ready for this?
Hear it.
They're going to have to turn it around. And one of the big things is they're going to have to realize they got to initiate, not retaliate. They retaliated the whole game. And that's not going to make you successful. You got to initiate, whether it's getting to the puck first, whether it's taking the body first. Everything seemed to be a response to what Florida was doing to them. And listen, I'm not blaming the goaltender, but that goaltender has to be as good as Bob, or you're going to have nights like this.
Goaltender needs to be as good as Bob. So we know that's not going to happen. Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, not only is it not going to happen, we shouldn't expect that to happen. If we expect that to happen, then he should be getting $10 million a year.
Well, he goes on to say
it's not fair to say he should be as good as Bob. Now, can he steal us the odd game? I'd love to see that. But you know, you can't just expect him to match a superstar, seasoned veteran goalie who's a Hall of Famer probably. And I disagree with him. Love Gretz, but on that comment, no.
All right. Listen to what he has to say a little later on.
Well, they wanted to come down here and split, right? It's easy to say we're going to go down there and win both games. You're playing against the Stanley Cup champions. Go down there, win one game, go home 2-2, and get back to your home court advantage. So they'll regroup. They've done it in the past. They did it last year. I know that this was probably one of their tougher playoff games they've had all year, but they're playing a great team, and a great team that's playing a style and a system. And the Oilers can't play to their style and system. They got to play Edmonton Oiler hockey, and that's fast, crisp, whistle to whistle, and play hard and get a big save.
Did you hear that?
Now that I agree with.
Do you hear the get a big save part? Yeah, so would you agree with me that he basically
should play at the level of Bob, or we should expect that? It's just not going to happen. Then you're going to be constantly disappointed. He's not Bobrovsky.
He's not, but he is alluding to the fact that Stuart Skinner, in Wayne Gretzky's opinion, which, I mean, if you want an opinion on hockey, it's a very strong opinion, regardless of what you think of him politically. All right?
Fine, yeah.
He mentions that Stuart Skinner needs to elevate his game to the level of Bobrovsky. I know that's impossible. You know that's impossible. But he's saying he's got to level up. In other words, he needs to play better.
Nobody's disagreeing.
All right? So that means he didn't play good. Because if you played good, why are we going to ask you to play better? Correct?
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
Okay, so he also mentions before he finishes that you need to make a save.
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
So I think Wayne Gretzky called out Stuart Skinner on 2 occasions there. Agree with me or not, it's up to you, but that's what happened.
Nobody's disagreeing.
All right. Now you might think that maybe it's just Wayne Gretzky, another guy. Lots of hockey history under this guy's belt, right?
Agree with that, except for don't expect him to be Bobrovsky. That's it.
All right. Well, let's see what Craig Button has to say. You ready?
I'm born ready.
Are you ready?
Born ready.
I know you're born ready.
Here,
Let's go.
throw butts.
Well, here's the issue right now, Jay, is that you have a game where you were not very good if you were Stuart Skinner. And in the fall behind 3-1 to the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final, I think that makes Chris Knobloch think a lot. This is the first goal of the game. There's times as a goaltender you just have to throw form out the window. Stuart Skinner gave up his form. And then the short side goals. I mean, you're going down, you're a big goaltender, and you go down and it beats you high glove. I know it's a good shot or high blocker, excuse me. I know it's a good shot. It happens back to back. Verhaeghe and then Reinhart. Look at where the position is, and those are not good goals. The first goal is just sloppy goaltending. The second goal is, quite frankly, you got to be better than that. The power play goals, I understand that those are tough ones for Skinner to stop. But on the goals 1, 2, and 3, simply put, not good enough.
You happy?
I don't know.
Are you guys happy?
I don't know what the point of your exercise is. I'm not disagreeing with any of that.
But you don't want to put Pickard in net. You want to go again with Skinner.
I want to put Skinner in himself because he has a history of redeeming himself more times than not. And if he doesn't show the early signs of redeeming himself, you got Calvin Pickard there.
So you would go rock climbing, knowing that the safety clip in this situation is the goaltender that holds your harness has failed multiple times. Now you're going to go into the biggest game in history here for the Edmonton Oilers, and you're going to use that same safety clip? That's basically what you're saying.
That safe saved my life multiple times.
But it also failed you multiple times.
What's that?
It's also failed you many times.
So by that logic, bailed us out. Like, I have to make a decision now. Is there an argument for both sides? Of course there is. Can you make a case? Of course you can. I'm just telling you what I would do based on my reasoning. I wouldn't be devastated if Pickard started. But if I was Knobloch, and this is also, well, by the way, what I believe he will do, he's going to start Skinner.
All right.
And the team.
All right. Do you see what's happening now? Do you see why I don't want the Oilers to go down the series? Do you see why? Do you see what's happening right now?
We don't get
like my heart rate's already starting. I could feel my heart rate going up, and I'm getting stressed out already.
Stop watching the Oilers.
I think I do, man. I think I do. This might be the final season for me on Frozen Oil. I'll tell you that. If they lose the Stanley, if they lose again to the Florida Panthers, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Next one from Captain Jack, and from the Florida Panthers, your Molson 3 stars of the game.
It looked that way in the first a little. But.
Oh, 100%. Next one from DNL. You ready for this one? Oilers have won 9 straight game 4s. Panthers have not.
I love it.
And last but not least, from Jack Michaels, first time since December 3rd, neither McDavid or Draisaitl landed on a score sheet in a game they both played. 140 combined penalties was most in a cup final in 39 years. Oilers won a game 8-1 last year in the final. Didn't help them in Game 7. Tonight is one game in a presumably long series. In a nutshell, Jack Michaels is trying to say, keep it positive. I haven't been able to keep it positive. And again, it's a long track record of reasoning why it's hard for me to keep it positive.
You can December 3rd. That's last year. McDavid and Draisaitl in the same game have not recorded a point. Either one of them. Like, this is how rare Game 3 was. And all the other rarities that happened to our team lately over this playoff run happened in the same game, which is why I'm optimistic. Get it all out in one game. So I'm choosing to think, learn from this, and not only learn from it, but play an extra attentive, solid road game. And that should be enough to get the win.
I hope you're right, Wayner. I hope you're right. I'll tell you this right now, that the Oilers need to win the next game, or it is going to be an almost impossible hole to climb out of. That's all I'm going to say. And that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. There's going to be a ton of editing for this one, Wayner. No studs of the night tonight. So hopefully we can do our studs of the night in the next game, because it comes with every W. And that's it. And most importantly, especially for Game 4, go Oilers, go.
Frozen or hockey, the channels you need. Oilers on the ice, unstoppable speed. Chasing the cup, we're gonna succeed. With David leading, we're built to exceed.